Welcome back to Elevation 44. I'm B for those of you who are new. Welcome to the channel. And if you're returning, welcome back, family. Today we are getting into the second video of a new series that I just kicked off on how to work with the moon cycle, and we're getting all into the moon phases and how to work individually with these moon phases so that you are able to push really your goals, your intentions, and all of that stuff out there, and how to learn when to rest and when to be active and when to give gratitude and when to plant your new seeds. So this is what this series is meant to help you do. It is also meant to be timeless information. I know every month here we focus on the new moon and the full moons, but we tend to focus on that in terms of what sign these moons are falling in. Also, we also tend to focus on the transits, or put heavy weight on the transits and what's happening transit-wise while the moon is going through these different cycles and these different signs. So I want something that you can refer back to as a resource to be your foundation or your base of understanding moon energy, so that you can always come back to this and you can take this information and work with it no matter what is happening transit-wise, no matter what the moon is doing. You have this basis of information to work with, okay? So the first video that we did in this series, we talked about the dark moon and the new moon and how that was a prime time, that was the time for you to set your intentions. We talked about how to set intentions. We talked about the things that you can work with during this phase of the moon, and basically how to best utilize that energy no matter what was happening. Okay, so the next phase that we're going to get into, we're actually going to cover 3 phases in this video, but this is all talking about the waxing moon. Okay, and the waxing moon is nothing more than the moon gaining that energy, building up to that full moon energy, gaining that momentum. So we're going to talk about how to best utilize this energy, okay? What this energy is and how to best utilize it. Can't talk today. Okay, so there are 3 phases that are underneath this moon phase. So there's 3 phases in one. Okay, the first phase is the waxing crescent. The next phase is the first quarter moon, and then the waxing gibbous. Okay, so that is the 3 phases that we are going to cover, that is kind of ingrained or under the umbrella of the waxing moon phase. Okay, so like I said, this is when the light and the energy of the moon is growing, and this is our action phase of the cycle. So if the new moon was about, setting, planting our seeds, this is the time where we are feeding those seeds. We are, dumping tons of water and nutrients and energy and sunlight into those seeds so that they can grow and blossom. This is our energy phase, okay? So this is where we put in our action. So this period lasts about 14 to 15 days total, and we're just gonna go ahead and get right into the first phase, which is the second phase of the moon cycle. So the first phase of the moon cycle, we talked about the dark moon, new moon, setting those intentions, planting those seeds. The second phase now under this waxing cycle is the waxing crescent. And the waxing crescent is about a week long. So this particular phase is about a week long. This is when we reflect on our intentions that we set at the new moon, and now the actions that we need to manifest them. Okay, so when I talk about this being our action-oriented phase, this is when we take action. Okay, the key word here again, action. Action, action, action. It's all about doing something. We've set those intentions. We know what we want to do. We know the seeds that we want to bring in. So now it's about taking the action. Okay, this is when we should continue to affirm, to meditate, and to visualize our intentions. The next part of this waxing moon phase is going to be the first quarter moon. And this is when the moon is about a quarter way through the lunar cycle, okay? Now, this is the 3rd phase in the moon cycle, and this is when the light of the moon is half illuminated, okay? So it's kind of like right down in the middle. Looks like you can slice the light of the moon right down in the middle, and half is illuminated and half is in darkness, okay? So this is a very short phase of the moon. It only lasts about 1 day, so it is very, very brief. You just got to capitalize on it on that day, and once that day is over, this energy or that phase of the moon is gone. So this is when any challenges that we're experiencing in regards to our intentions are highlighted, okay? So now an example of that could be like, okay, let's say you set the intention to lose weight, right? You say you want to lose 10 pounds. Your intention that you set was to lose 10 pounds, but now you're finding that you're having a hard time getting a workout in every day. All right, so this would be the time where those challenges would be highlighted, okay? So this is an opportunity to like reflect on what challenges am I coming up against? Okay, I'm having a hard time working out every day. Now, where can I course correct? What can I do to make sure that I set myself up for success in terms of what do I need to change in order for me to make that happen every day? Does it mean that I go to bed an hour earlier every night? Does it mean I lay out my clothes every morning? What does it mean? What practical steps? How do I course correct in order to meet the challenges that I'm coming up against, okay? So this is all about helping you to navigate challenges or highlighting those challenges so that you can, again, have a successful outcome. It's all about pivoting when we need to pivot, and this is what this energy highlights for us, okay? So the key here in this particular phase of the moon cycle is to make decisions, okay? Now let's get into the next phase of the waxing moon, and this is the waxing gibbous, okay? And this is also another week-long type phase. So we have a whole stretch of a week to work with this energy every lunar cycle, okay? So this is the time between the first quarter moon and the full moon. This is when the light of the moon is literally growing and getting into its peak. It's about to hit peak energy. This is when the energy is growing. This is our high active phase. When we talk about going all out, going all in, putting it all together, this is the phase where we do this. This is where we tend to have the most energy and feel that energy individually. Like we can literally feel that physical energy, but this is the most energy to power those intentions, okay? So this is a highly active phase. This energy feels intense, but in a good way, because it's the strong momentum that comes in. This is what we're using to this is the fire, that extra gasoline that we throw on the fire to light everything up, okay? Now, this is the most beneficial time, like I said, for activity. Our energy levels are reaching peak, and it's a good time to get a lot of things done. So we put in that work during this. Like if you should be working hard at all during the month, this is the phase of the month that you want to be putting in that work, okay? So this is a time to strengthen and refine your intentions by getting more specific, okay? More specific. And an example of that is, okay, so an intention you set is I want more money. Okay, let's get specific. I want $10,000 a month. I want $500 a week. Whatever it is, whatever figure that you come up with, is getting very, very, very specific. So the whole idea around this energy or this phase of the moon is not only going all out, putting all the energy and action in, but getting very, very specific on exactly what you're working towards, exactly what you're calling in, okay? So this effort is going into meeting your goals at this time. You want to meet your goals, so you have to be specific exactly about how you want to meet them, okay? So let's talk about some of the tools that you can use for working with the waxing moon phase, okay? The first thing that I'm going to talk about are some crystals that you can use, because this energy is all about building momentum. This energy is all about lighting your fire, the confidence, that push, that energy, that drive, that getting specific, getting that clarity, really just going and pushing full throttle, okay? So the first crystal that I would recommend is citrine. And citrine is a very lucky, it's considered a very lucky crystal. It's also considered this crystal of abundance. A lot of people work with citrine when they're trying to call more abundance into their life, more wealth, more resources. So it's all about prosperity, optimism, attraction, abundance, okay? Another crystal that I would recommend is tiger's eye. And tiger's eye helps you tap into your inner confidence. It helps you to tap into that inner strength, that confidence, and it helps you to focus and keep balanced, okay? And you're gonna need to be focused and balanced as, you know, you're working on your intentions and your, you know, this particular cycle of where everything is building. You're gonna have to step out and do things that you haven't done before and have the courage and the strength to do that, okay? So that is literally what tiger's eye is gonna help you do there. Green aventurine is another crystal, and this is also tied to good luck and abundance, and it's also great for all matters of the heart and love, especially if you're setting intentions around your relationships, around healing, around anything like that. This is a great crystal to use in those areas to kind of, you know, help you in those your areas and boost that while you're working with this phase of the moon. And then the last stone I'm going to recommend during this phase of the moon that you can always work with is moonstone, because moonstone can be worked with during any phase of the moon, of the lunar cycle. We talked about that in a previous video, so I'm not going to get into moonstone here, but you can use moonstone as well. Some of the herbs and oils that I would recommend working with in this particular phase of the moon is basil. So basil is great for courage, wealth, abundance, love. Thyme is great for activity, again, because it's a highly active phase. It's also great for courage and balance. Rosemary, which is great for bringing in mental clarity. Spearmint, peppermint, again, mental clarity. Pine, which is associated with success and blessings, and then lemon balm, which is also associated with success and love, okay? So these are, you know, the earthly elements that I would recommend you also incorporating or using or working with during this particular phase. So you're talking about a good 2-week stretch that you can incorporate all of this stuff, okay? And then some of the candle colors, if you're looking to do candle magic or looking to work with candles to help power your manifestations, the colors that I would recommend working with under this cycle are green. Again, a lot of these colors were similar to the ones in the first video with the new moon. We cut out a couple of them, but the first one is the green, which is about attracting resources, abundance, good luck, and success. Red, which is about passion, energy, vitality, and courage. Yellow, which is going to help with that mental clarity and also your personal power. And orange, which is all about energy, creativity, positivity, okay? So if you notice, these are your first 4 chakra colors, okay? It's that root, that red, that sacral, that solar plexus, and that heart. So it's that the first 4 chakras, and the first 3 chakras are really what connects you to the physical, you know, down to the physical realm. So that is your lower chakras plus that connector, which is the heart. So it is interesting to see how the chakras also tie into lunar energy and the lunar cycles and how to work with it in that way. So this is all I have on the waxing phase of the moon. The next thing that we're going to get into is the full moon, and we always talk about the full moon, but you know, I want to help give you a foundation so that you can dive deeper into your own full moon practices, and this will also help you navigate and come up with ways that you can craft your own rituals and all of this other good stuff around the full moon and lunar energy, okay? So I hope that you found this helpful. I hope this gave you a good base to understanding how to work with the lunar cycle during different times of the month. Now you know when you should be most active is during the waxing phase of the moon, okay? After you plant those seeds, you got to get to work. You got to get to work if we want to harvest those crops, okay? So let me know in the comments down below how you're enjoying this series. If there's anything else that you may want me to cover that I'm not specifically covering in these videos already, I look forward to reading your comments and getting your feedback. And if you also liked it, give me a thumbs up, share it with a friend, or subscribe, because you don't want to miss the other 2 videos after this, because we're talking about the full moon and then we're going to be talking about the waning cycle of the moon, which are both equally important. So I will see you all very soon. Have a good one. Peace.